What's going on, guys? Ken Raven here, coming at you with another video today. So today we're going to do a knife overview of several different knives. Some of them prototypes, some of them actual production, some from my collection, and some from the Lefty Pass Around group. Big shout out to the Lefty Pass Around group for letting me check out these knives. But before we get into today's overview, y'all remember, give me a like, leave a comment. In the description of this video and all the videos, there'll be the links. Those links are the best way to support me here at the channel. So if you would like to see more content and different content like knife testing and stuff, consider using those links. That's the best way to support me, especially my Patreon link. At the end of the video, there'll be a little subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and check out the other video I have linked. Now let's flip this camera around and get into today's knife review of several different knives. Okay guys, so today we're going to take a look at knives from QSP, CJRB, and Kansept. But they all have one thing in common. The designer of all of these knives is Justin Lundquist. Great designer. I love his designs. We're going to start off with one from my collection. This is the QSP Vault. So this is a full-size knife. It's not an XL knife. It's just, I would consider this a full-size knife. This is in the budget and everything. The first two are definitely budget knives. Anything less than $100 is considered budget here on my channel. So we've got different types of micarta. This one happens to be the brown. Steel bolsters, or they have some that are black bolsters as well, but still steel. And then you got black blades and satin blades, okay? Nice deep carry reversible pocket clip. I love the way they did this pocket clip with just the channel, and so you could flip it to either side. Using QSP's version of their crossbar lock, they're calling it the Glide Lock. So it's a crossbar lock and dual thumb stud, so this is completely ambidextrous. And then a nice drop point 14C 28N blade. Okay, I have medium-sized hands. I wear medium-sized gloves, so I get 4 full fingers, no problem. Okay, now this is a smaller tool. I can use it as a choke-up tool. If you've got large hands, you're probably going to start running in onto this corner. So it might just end up being a sharpening tool for you. But for me, I can actually use it for choke up. So either way, just keep that in mind. But you still have plenty of handle right here. So large hands shouldn't have a problem. That tip, very nice. You can use the tip. You can use this forward-facing belly part for your push cuts, any of your finesse cuts. And then because the belly really doesn't start swooping until right here, you're going to have almost the whole length of this blade for your power cuts before you start to slide up off of that cut. Really nice, and I love the action on this. Okay, very snappy, and when you close it in, it brings it to here. You let go of the lock, and it sucks it in. Snaps out, brings it back, sucks it in. Really nice. QSP did an outstanding job on the Vault. We'll bring this back out when we take a look at all the size comparisons. Next up, CJRB. So on the CJRB, these are a couple of prototypes right here from the Lefty Pass Around group, and then this is out of my collection. This is one of the production models. This is the CJRB version, okay? It comes in many different versions, okay? You've got black blades, you've got stainless blades, different handle materials, G10, etc. It is a traditional plunge lock. So you've got a deployment hole, or you've got a front flipper. I have to say, my favorite way is the deployment hole itself. Nice, snappy, good compact knife, but because they gave a really large tool, now this is a large tool, okay, even large size hands are going to be able to choke up, no problem. So for my medium-sized hands, I get 4 full fingers back here. If I choke up here, I've got that much handle left out hanging over. So either way, going to be great. And I tell you, I've used this knife most of the time in more of the pinch grip style because that tip drops low. Easily pierce, draw cuts, precision cuts, anything like that. And then if you needed to use for your long power cuts, you get good purchase back here. And in that choke up, you got almost that whole length of that blade that you can use for your power cuts. Nice button lock action. Really, just a really nice compact little EDC knife. I really like the version. That's why I had to get one on my collection. And between the production and the prototype, very similar. I think they shrunk it just a smidgen, not by much, but overall and everything very similar to the actual prototypes. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, I forgot to say, on this, it's at CJRB, the steel is RPM 9, which is CJRB's version of basically their budget steel. I love it. Okay, it is a spray form version of 9CR. Good corrosion resistance, good toughness. It holds an edge decent. I've had great performance out of RPM 9. I love seeing that, especially in the budget territory. I have no problem with that steel whatsoever. So just wanted to mention that before we moved on. Next up is Kansept. So now, Kansept, this is the Kansept Vivid. So we had the Vault, we had the version, now we are having the Vivid. These are prototypes. This is not available yet. This is coming, okay? So just pay attention to Kansept, and I'll have Kansept linked in the description. So these should be coming very soon, and I'm very excited for this. Apparently, they're going to be offering this in multiple different versions, okay? So this one, we have the blue and white version of like carbon fiber with a satin blade. We have a, satin, okay. So this is the stone washed type satin blade, okay? So blue and white version with a stone wash satin and everything. And this is a black and white version with an actual belt satin. You can see those actual belt marks. And then of course this is more like a black dune style version, okay, with a Damascus blade. Really nice looking Damascus. I'm sure it's going to be probably either a 9CR based Damascus or a VG10 based Damascus, somewhere up in there. Either way and everything, it's performed great in my testing so far, and I have no problem with Damascus like this because Kansept and stuff like that, they do these types of Damascus steel with good purpose and usefulness in mind. Besides looking nice, they are actually meant to be used. It's only when you get into the real cheap Damascus that I have a problem with Damascus. Damascus like this, I have no problem. I've owned knives with Damascus like this. It's basically like having VG10 or different 9CR type knives. So I get good performance out of these Damascus. No issues at all. The other on this steel, I do not know what they're going to use on the actual non-Damascus. So not sure the composition of the Damascus on this. Don't know the actual blade steel that they're going to end up going with on the production. So it's going to be a wait and see. I know these, they're not marked, but they have done very well. So I've just tested more on basis of how is the geometry, how is the overall usefulness and function instead of the actual steel properties. Because if you're like me, I'm a double amputee, so I'm not out there hard using my knives or anything. You know, you wouldn't want a baton with these types of knives anyway and stuff. But you're using these, and I use my knives for like what 99% of pocket knives are used for. Opening packages, opening mail, breaking down cardboard and boxes. Some knives you might do a little food prep with. You might slice a bit off of an apple, etc. Cut a string, some rope cuts and stuff like that. These knives that sell, and between the different blade steels, most of the time, you're not going to notice a difference on regular use. When you get into hard using, as like breaking down lots and lots and lots of cardboard, sure, you're going to see difference between the blade steels. But on just average use, most blade steels that are well heat treated, the geometry is going to play more of an effect on it than it is the actual blade composition. So, on this knife, Kansept did a great job with the reversible pocket clip. Now, they did, for some reason, and I know it's because they were gearing towards right-handed mostly, they did sort of do this little loop up. Whoop. It goes straight and then whoops up, okay, to sort of land it towards the top, all right, and that curve. Well, if you flip it, it's going to land towards this side, okay. Still going to work just fine. It's just going to look a little bit different. So lefties, keep that in mind. I wish they would have found a way to done a little bit more straighter clip, but I know because of the way the handle curves like this, that would have been really hard if they wanted it to land more towards the middle. All right, they needed this, but it is an ambidextrous locking system, crossbar lock, and then you've got a deployment hole. So this is still fully ambidextrous. Your clip's just going to set a little bit different if you're left-handed than if you're right-handed. Nice deployment action, very snappy. Really good in hands. Got plenty. This is another full size, and I can use this tool no problem. Love this blade. You've got a straight edge right here, okay, and then you've got a low drop tip, so you can easily pierce, drag cuts, any precision cuts, and then when you do need to do those power cuts, you literally are not going to slide off. You're just going to run until you run out of blade, because it is a straight edge all day long, okay? So, very useful blade shape, really nice in hand, very good ergonomically, and I love the action on these knives. Really nice. So, let's bring out all the knives right here. Let's stand them this way because there's so many different versions and everything. I know I'll usually like to do size comparisons this way, but we'll do it this way. Okay, let's bring out the vault. Stick that here. And now we'll bring out the production version of the version. And then the prototypes. Okay. So as you can see right here, you've got a smaller EDC size knife, a very more compact knife. Then you've got more full-size knives. This is a right there, medium size going towards large. This is what I consider a full-size knife as well. So you can get the variations just to give you some, let's say here, some comparisons, okay? This is the New Breed EDC Clydesdale. You can see it's about the same length as the Vault. And this right here is the Fairmonster Glideman. This is very similar in size to the Kansept Vivid. Alright. Excellent. Knives. I love these designs. Justin does great on designs, and these companies have done well in executing these designs. I'm looking forward to the Vivid coming out. This is definitely one that I would like to add to my collection. I already have the Vault, and I have one of the versions. Let's flip this camera around and wrap up today's video of these 3 Justin Lundquist design knives. So guys, what do you think about the Vault, the Vivid, and the Version? Do you like these knives? Do you like Justin Lundquist designs? I can tell you I do. I already own the Vault, I own the Version, and I'm waiting for the Vivid to come out because these are some great knives and I can highly recommend them. If I'm willing to add them and use them in my collection and use my money towards them, then I recommend them for what I use them for, and I think you would get the same great use for them. Y'all remember to give me a like, leave a comment. In the description of this video and all my videos, there'll be those links. There'll be links to these knives and to Kansept since the Vivid is not out yet. When you use those links, that's the best way to support me here at the channel. Also, there's links to the Patreon, to Instagram, and to TikTok. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, check out this video. I think you might like it. Y'all be safe out there. I'm King Raven, and I'll catch you in the next video.